I just want to make this video because seeing the flooding in Nepal it really makes me think about God. And I think about, like, how could a God, and I've heard these different miracles. How can a God, you have to square this idea that God helps you or helps American Christians, but he does not help others. We can clearly see that with Nepal. Over 1,000 people were quickly swept away. Like, it's extremely sad. But God got you pregnant. You know, you had a miracle baby. Do you guys get it? Or you got a job. All these supposed miracles, but those people in Nepal did not get help from God. There was a woman there who, she said her sister, her mother, her whole family wiped out by this flood. And somewhere in America, God helped a couple conceive a baby when they couldn't. Do you guys ever think about stuff like that? Do you ever think about stuff like that? God got you over cancer, but the Nepal flood just wiped out 1,000 people. So God doesn't care about the Chinese or Nepalese. God only cares about Christian Protestant Americans or Catholic Americans. Is that how you guys see it? Do most Christians see that only American Christians get helped by God? Anyways, I'm not going to drag this along. I don't understand how people can think that God is helping them while a natural disaster wipes out half a civilization. In this case, it was probably tantamount to a neighborhood, which is still a lot of people. But this is why I don't believe in an all-loving God. I don't even think it's possible for an all-loving God to exist. At best, it's a God who is indifferent to humans and he just wants to mess around. But there's no way there's an all-loving God. There's no way. After seeing the Nepal flood and all those people who are drowned, there's no way there's an all-loving God. But I know many Christians actually believe that was God judging, which is even more. That's sick. That's sick to think that God was judging those people who. It's entirely possible, not only because you have to think about it like this. Think about how you and I view Hinduism. Well, I don't, but you do. It's entirely possible the way you view Hinduism is the way the Nepalese or the Chinese views Christianity. It's foreign. You're not going to believe it, even if you were given it, because you already have a foundation planted in another ideology. And this is why I say, this idea that Jesus is around in the world doing things is silly. It's not possible, because if Jesus was real, whole countries would convert to Christianity. And people think that this is just a silly notion, but you have to really think about it. What is Christianity doing to truly separate itself from any other religion? Proselytizing? Missionary work, which missionary work is just colonization. They're not doing nothing. There's nothing that Christianity, they'll say, well, the Bible is the only book that goes against mankind. That is such a terrible argument once you understand other religions. It's way harder to be a Muslim than a Christian. Way harder, like without a doubt. But that's not a good argument, and I hear it all the time. But that's because a lot of people who are Christians, they don't, either they have an education or they let that information take a back seat because they have this theology that guides their life. Does that make sense? Like, most people know what a generation is, but once you get into the Bible, suddenly generation means this large span of time. But that's not the definition of free will. The definition of free will literally says you need an outside influence to take out your free will. And Christians will say free choice is free will. It's frustrating, but I'm gonna end it there. I don't see how any American Christian can be like, God got us pregnant. God got me a job. I got a special check in the mail. God got me over my addiction, while people in Nepal are cleaning up bodies. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.